It's Carter Sports back, and today we talking about a transfer that has came to USC from Auburn, and talk about what USC is doing in the transfer portal. So let's go. And if you been here before, can you please hit that like, please? And if you ain't subscribed, boy, you better subscribe. Trojan family, Trojan gang, fight on forever is in the building. Today we're gonna talk about Fair, right? And what this means, right? Fair just committed to USC, a wide receiver out of Auburn, a speedy slot type receiver, right? 5'10", 175. I think he had like 32 catches, 2 touchdowns, 300 and something yards, right? But Auburn didn't have a great quarterback and great passing game coordinator, a great passing attack period, right? They didn't have that. So if he was probably with a more prolific passing team, at least them numbers probably would have been double, right? You watch his film, he better than 32 catches and 2 touchdowns, right? He got that speed, he got that ability. But what is this saying about Zachariah? Because Zachariah supposed to be our speed guy, our guy in the slot that gonna take the top off the defense, right? And open up the middle for guys like Jacoby and Deuce Robinson and let Makai eat, right? What is this saying about my boy Zachariah? Now, I like Fair. Welcome. Once a Trojan, always a Trojan. I wish Fair much success, and I'm happy about the pickup because he is a quality player and add depth to our wide receiver room. He good. So Fair, you see this, your parents see this. I'm not knocking you at all. I'm happy for the pickup. Fight on. You a baller. You have NFL potential. Fair have NFL potential. But what is this saying about Zachariah? Do they feel like Zachariah ain't developing enough, right? Or is Zachariah, they finna demote Zachariah to the second in the slot? Is this kid coming in to replace Zachariah in the starting lineup? Or is he finna be Zachariah backup? Or they gonna be on the field both at the same time? Or they gonna split reps? I don't know. But the first thing I thought is he a Zachariah branch type player. So what did this mean for Zachariah? But then I kept thinking, we try to get Silas Bowling too. So Zachariah is a type of player that you wouldn't mind having 2 of those. So I kind of get it. And see, getting another Zachariah type player, because you can't have too many of those. I know Kansas City, they would have took 2 Tyreeks if you have them. You know what I'm saying? You won't have one Tyreek Hill and be like, you don't want the other Tyreek Hill. Like, it's room in the offense for both. You can have them on the field both at the same time, right? And speedy players, you can have them in the backfield too. Just get them the ball in space, right? Get them a lane, get them a crease, and let them get that speed up and let them get going down the field. So I get it, but it made me think about Zachariah. Second thing I was thinking about is that when this transfer portal open, right? When the transfer portal open, the strongest positions we had, I feel like, in my opinion, was the wide receivers and the DB. That's the room I was most comfortable with. Even with the short numbers in the wide receiver room, every wide receiver we got, I like. So like I said, and Fair is another one. So our wide receiver room is super loaded. Leonard Moss got all the weapons he needs. Or Jaden Maiava got all the weapons he needs. Or Jake Jensen, whoever gonna play quarterback for USC, gonna have all the weapons they need for the next 2 years for sure. And Fair completes that, right? But when the transfer portal opened, we all knew we need D linemen, nose tackles specifically, and we need offensive linemen, offensive tackle specifically, right? Specifically. Excuse the way I talk. You know what I'm saying? I pronounce words kind of funny sometimes, but anyway, right? Them was our major needs, O-line and D-line. Why, since the transfer portal open, we then added players to rooms which our best rooms, our most comfortable rooms. Our best room coming in the spring ball was the wide receiver room and the DB room. So why in the hell when the transfer portal opened, we signing guys, right? We signing guys to rooms we don't really need help at. We could use it as depth, but that ain't what we hurting at. If college football was an NFL draft, I was just watching the NFL draft and the team would come up and they'll show you the team needs. This team needs this and that and that. Look within the draft players at these positions. Team need was a wide receiver and DB for USC. It wasn't. It wasn't. So I'm not saying the players that we added ain't good players. I'm saying it ain't a position of need. And if USC treating this like we taking the best player available is Cal Ford and Greedy Vance and Jay Fair, is they rated higher than Jermaine Lole, Dominique Williams, Derek Harmon? Is they rated higher than a lot of these D tackles and nose tackles that went in the transfer portal? See, only time an NFL team really select the position that they don't need if they feel like this player is too great to pass up on and he's just the best player on the board. So I could see if USC needed defensive tackles and nose tackles, right, and offensive tackles, but picked up the next Travis Hunter in the transfer portal. You know what I'm saying? But picked up the next Marvin Harrison in the transfer portal. 5-star transfers, then I will understand it more. Like, okay, even though we don't need a receiver, this kid is a Marvin Harrison. This kid is a top 5 wide receiver in the country. We gotta take him. Okay, I understand. Oh, we don't need DBs, but this kid, he a top 5 DB in the country. Then I understand, right? So I don't understand how the transfer portal we adding to our strength and not adding to our weakness. So like I said, this ain't a shot at Cal Ford or Greedy Vance or Jay Fair. It's just that adding these players is just strengthening the strength we already have, right? We're not strengthening our weaknesses. So I'm starting to question what's going on, because Jay Fair came to visit, committed immediately the next day. Greedy Vance came to visit, committed immediately the next day. Why when these D lines come, well, to tell you the truth, only Derek Harmon that I know to my knowledge is the only one that have came to campus. So why we didn't schedule visits for 2 wide receivers, and I know Cal Ford was going to practice in a DB, but we only had scheduled 2 defensive linemen, right? Derek Harmon and Jermaine Lole. And Jermaine Lole never even made it to campus because OU gave him a bonus bag if he committed right there and don't take no more visits, right? So when the transfer portal opened up, we should have scheduled visits with at least 5 or 6 defensive linemen and at least like 3 or 4 offensive tackles. I'm looking at USC. So far, we done had Jay Fair visit, Derek Harmon visit, and to my knowledge, that's just about it. Who else been on campus? Jermaine Lole had posted came and Tyler Barron coming, right? So they scheduled Harmon, Lole, and Barron out of Tennessee. We should have scheduled 6 or 7 of them, right? It should be like one of them recruiting bastards out of high school when we got like 20 players on campus. Now, it ain't over. The portal closed 30th, but when the portal closed on the 30th, you ain't got to pick your team yet. You still in the portal, so it don't end, but the entry, it ends on the 30th. So we will see what USC starts scheduling visits on more defensive linemen. So I'm not mad that we ain't signed one yet because I know it's hard and these players looking out for money. So I know it ain't that easy just to snap your finger, right? No, it ain't that easy just to snap your finger. But what got me, my mind boggled, is we ain't even scheduled enough visits, in my opinion. We ain't even scheduled enough visits to think. You ain't gonna get every visit. So if you only schedule 3 defensive linemen, you might only get 1. You doing hella good if you get 2. That's 66%. You doing hella good if 66% of the people who visit your campus commit. So if we get 3, the numbers say we probably get 1 commit. So we should be stacking up visits just on a numbers game, because we need at least 2 interior guys, preferably 3, right? So if you're looking at like, I want 2 and 3 interior guys, we need to be scheduling at least 6 or 8 visits. You know what I'm saying? 6 to 9 visits, 6 to 9 different players. So I'm wondering, if I'm USC, I'm not even scheduling no visit to a position that I don't got no need for, where it ain't a need, where I ain't short of my weaknesses yet. You shore up your weaknesses. I wouldn't even been worried about Cal Ford and Jay Fair and Greedy Vance yet. I would want them, but my main priority would have been getting these defensive linemen. And I know these players gonna get a little bag too. So before I start spending my bag money, my portal money, my recruit money on position of strength, I'm gonna spend my recruit money first on a position of weakness. So I got the most money possible when I'm trying to address a position of strength. Now we 3 players down: Greedy Vance, Jay Fair, and Cal Ford, right? I'm pretty sure them players got some money, and that's taken out the pot. Now we got less to offer D-line players, right? If all the money is in a pot, and there's a certain amount of money we got, and it ain't like we got unlimited money. It might grow every day, but every day USC can look up and see how much pay for play money they have, right? And when you spending money on position of strength and not weakness, that don't sit right with me. That don't sit right with me, right? I feel like our priorities ain't straight, and I feel like they don't know how dire the situation is, at least in my eyes. Like if we begin the season with Kobe Pepe and Bear starting, and that's all we got, and the youngsters behind them, we gonna be in trouble, y'all. We gonna get ran through, right? Because that's what the Big Ten want to do anyway. The Big Ten, our strength is the DBs right now, the defense. But the Big Ten, besides Ohio State, they don't even care about. They want to run the ball. You as a Big Ten team, they hoping our weakness be the defensive line, not the secondary. So they gonna run the ball anyway, because that's their game in the Big Ten. Run first, play action. That's the Big Ten game. Run first, play action. So they gonna run it anyway. And if they running it and they having success, they gonna keep running it. We seen Michigan run the ball 30 times in the game because the other team just couldn't stop it. The Big Ten is like, if we at least get 4 yards on every run play, we gonna keep running it, right? So our defense is gonna stay on the field. The time of possession is gonna be in the other team's favor every game if we don't get nothing up in the interior, because the Big Ten ain't the Pac-12. They're not gonna pass the ball just because to please their quarterback. If you can't stop their run game, then they are going to keep running the ball. And one thing about football, if you weak up the middle, there's no game plan or no adjustment you can make. When you gonna go to a goal line defense, and then that's when they go pass and eat you up in the air. Even a weak passing game could throw against a goal line defense, which you gonna run a 5-2, that still ain't gonna matter, because them edges ain't gonna be able to help you running up the middle. So this is paramount. And the way they scheduling visits and the way they spending their money, they might not, I mean, maybe their adversary is a beast, right? Maybe Carlon Jones is gonna come in and they feel like it's gonna be a beast. Cause you gotta tell me something. While we ain't aggressive, we should be uber ultra aggressive. in the transfer portal with these interior defensive linemen. So when I seen this, I'm like, yeah, I know Jay Fair, he good. And I like him, but I just smacking my lips. Every time USC signs somebody out the portal that ain't a defensive tackle or a nose tackle, I'm smacking my lips. I'm like, let me know when we get a nose tackle. Right? That's where I'm at with it. But shout out to Jay Fair. You welcome. Once a Trojan, always a Trojan. Hope you ball out. We need you. And let's go. For USC fans, I'm speaking to y'all. And we all alike. I read in the comments. Y'all thinking the same thing I'm thinking. We hear a player transfer to USC. Is he a nose tackle? Nah. We all like, alright. Let me know when we get a nose tackle. But until then, it's Carter Sports. It's USC. It's Trojan City. So let's go.